All right, everyone. Good morning here. It's a beautiful Sunday, and it's a Fighting Chance Wrestling podcast. I don't know why I just sounded tired there, but maybe it's because I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Could be.
I have here Joey.
What's up?
Jay. We have, what is this, episode 8 now? Yeah, this is episode 8. We have a lot of content. Apparently, a lot of stuff happened. Um, and just good stuff to talk about. So let's start off with our current news, like we like to start off with. The first thing I'd like to add is that we have two topics here about Randy Orton, right? So Randy Orton, the first one is, which I kind of was confused because I thought he was out because of injury, which he is,
Yeah.
that I found out later on. But one of the other things is that apparently his tattoo artist had a lawsuit, and WWE, with all the money that they have and all the good lawyers that they have, they lost against a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
So, but if you read, the tattoo artist only got like less than 4 grand.
Oh, really? Out of this?
Yeah, so it's like
Probably cost him more for a lawyer.
right, exactly. It's like, man, like you went all in with that lawsuit thinking that she was gonna cash in a big paycheck.
Yeah.
No, no, that
That's
wasn't the case.
But I guess I didn't understand that's how it works, that it's the tattoo artist's property, not Randy Orton's property?
Yeah,
Is the
so well, so the issue was is not so much with Randy, it was
Yeah.
more with WWE and Take-Two Interactive
With the
because
game.
with
Yeah.
the video game, you're right?
Yeah.
So the guys who helped create the game, um, so essentially they didn't have the permission because it was her original artwork, which makes sense, it is.
Yeah.
So it was her original artwork that Randy Orton paid for. So he's obviously allowed to, go
Yeah.
with it. But Take Two copied the design for the video games, right? And he has 5 of the tattoos that he had with her.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure he probably won't go get a sixth one.
Yeah. But if
But
it's on Orton's body, like
yeah,
I
but
don't, you know what I mean? Like, not playing
yeah.
devil's advocate, maybe I am, but I don't understand.
maybe we'll have to get
Well,
it.
the jury in the courts
Yeah.
decided that it was in favor of the
Yeah, I'm a
tattoo,
little confused by that one.
but originally I think they offered her like $400
Yeah, that's it.
or
Yeah.
something like that. But if you think about it, it's kind of evens out because what's 400 times 5? It's a 2000.
2000.
Right, it's 2000. She only got $1,500 more, roughly.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
was it worth it?
publicity.
Probably not. Anyway, next Randy Orton topic is that he is in fact hurt. He has been out with his back issues, but from what I read, is that officials are thinking that it's much worse than they initially thought, and that maybe he might require surgery. So it's going to put him out for the rest of 2022, and potentially some of 2023.
He'll
Now,
never be.
that's a big hit because we've spoke about it before.
Yeah.
And I think with Triple H, he's changing that already because you're starting to see more believable characters now.
Mm.
Um, and he's changing the whole way, because before there wasn't any top stars. Like you looked at people and you go like that, not really
Yeah.
like, top WWE champ star. But now he's changing that, and we'll talk about that a little later with like, carrying cross and stuff like that. But um as far as Randy Orton, that's a big hit because he's always been on top for as long as, he's
Yeah.
He's
started.
he's been consistent.
Oh, he's one of the most consistent. I think that out of all of the top stars, he's probably one of the most underrated because of the sense that like with his accomplishments because he's
Yeah.
accomplished so much and he's been so consistent for so long. I don't know. I just think that he should be a little bit more talked about. Like you talk about the John Cena's, you talk about like he's one of the greats. He's up there, you know.
Mm.
Maybe somebody's
Um,
answer last week's
so I
podcast.
so I don't know. Like we're to be honest with you, I love how Matt Riddle kind of like still keeps him like, there, like, with everything he does, but not as much as he was in the beginning. He's starting to become like his own thing. But he still, does the RKOs, like the poses and stuff like that, to pay homage to.
Which
Um,
right he should.
yeah, but the injury that he's suffering is not disclosed yet. And when you talk about surgery, and you think about serious stuff like a herniated disc that's so bad that it might be hitting a nerve or spinal stenosis, like what Edge had.
Yeah.
So it could very well be something that takes him out for a lot longer than we expected. Um, or because he's up there in age now.
He's in his 40s, correct?
Yeah, he's in his 40s and he's been doing this for so long. Like, you worry about those kind of things like early retirement and stuff like that because of, the nature of the injuries, right? Um and so yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts on that, you guys?
When Cliff would probably know. When was Orton's last match?
Orton's last match was the tag team championship, the when they unified it. No, that's not when. Was it when they unified it? No, it was after they lost it to the Usos, I believe.
Yeah. How long ago was that? I don't remember.
Uh, that was recently.
Yeah.
Um, May? No, was
That
it
sounds
May?
about right,
Was it
I want
May?
to say.
I think it was May. Yeah, it's when they lost it to the. I believe they lost it to the Usos. Um, and then Usos been champion ever since. I don't think they've ever dropped it or lost it.
No. No, they haven't.
No,
But
right?
they,
Yeah, yeah, it was them that they unified it with, I believe. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a while before we see him back again, apparently.
I'm hoping, that wasn't his last match. You know.
I don't think it's gonna be his last match. I mean, again, you don't know the nature of
Yeah.
the injury, and since it's not disclosed, we don't know. But obviously, being a wrestler and your back hurting, like, or being injured like that, it's a bad recipe because they land on their backs all the
Well,
time.
yeah.
So you
once
got to
you
be
have a
careful with that. What's up?
once, once you have a back problem, it doesn't matter any other type of part of your body. If you have a back problem, you will never ever be the same. I take that from experience. Not that
Me too. I had back surgery.
Yeah.
so it may be good for Randy Orton also because he's got a lot of talent. Like you said, he's very underrated, and I think the whole Triple H bringing in Shawn Michaels with the whole drafting and looking at future wrestlers. I think if he did something like that with Michaels and Triple H, he could bring a lot to the table with ideas.
Yeah, there's just I don't know. You talk about wrestlers that are underrated, but like you talk about wrestlers that have been just so consistent and just like their ability, it's just smoothness. There's like a smoothness to, like he's the best, one of the best, like all around type wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
John Cena is obviously one of like the top wrestlers, but if you look at John Cena's like in-ring ability, the five moves of doom or whatever it was,
Yeah.
um, Randy Orton is like well-rounded. Like he has the look, he has the in-ring ability, he has the mic skills. He's just so well-rounded and knows the psychology so well that it's almost as if he's a third generation superstar, right?
One would think.
One more thing. So yeah, I mean, obviously we want Randy Orton to feel better. We want him to, his health is more important than anything else. But we do hope that we see him again in the future, because he's so vital to the company, I feel like. Being a veteran too, you're also going to be mentoring a lot of the younger talent, like he was with Riddle and stuff like that. So, you need that in the business, I guess.
It's
Um,
interesting to see what
so
happens.
off to the next topic. We have, unfortunately, we learned that Antonio Inoki had passed away. This is a big deal because he's been such a prominent e- figure in the wrestling world, especially what he's done, for Japan, wrestling in Japan, being a politician in Japan. He also brought in, wrestling to North Korea at one point. If you guys haven't seen it, and I think I was talking to Jay about it, or before we started. You watched Dark Side of the Ring specials by Vice. They
Yeah.
actually go in depth about the whole when the WCW wrestlers took a trip to North Korea and how insane that was. Because as we know, North Korea is like a police state, right?
Yeah.
So it was very interesting to see that story and the interviews and what happened and how they were treated in North Korea when they went. But yeah, such a pivotal or such a huge figure to have lost in the wrestling world. Um, people will probably remember when old wrestling fans, especially, probably remember when he faced off against Muhammad Ali back then in the day, and that was a huge thing. But yeah, rest in peace, Antonio Inoki. Had a great illustrious career. The other go into, and I don't know if you guys had anything else to say about that, as far as Antonio Inoki. Did
No,
you?
no,
No? No, okay.
Nah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going forward. We just learned, I learned this last night. I guess this must have been a new thing, but breaking news for the Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle match, which I found very interesting, is Daniel Cormier,
yeah,
uh,
Daniel.
will be guest refing, or guest referee.
Yes,
Yeah,
he's going to be a special guest referee. That's what it is. And I see
Yeah.
a commonality here that it's my girlfriend first. You know who I'm talking about. And now it's him and Lesnar is, even though he's a wrestler, a UFC fighter, I'm starting to see a common trend here. And makes me wonder one question. You possibly think that H and the new organization maybe stick a hand in buying the UFC?
Well, there's always been a history there with the MMA fighters joining. I mean, you look at, Ronda Rousey, Brock leaving WWE to go and be a MMA fighter. You've
Right?
had, tons and tons. Ken Shamrock, Dan Severn,
Yep.
the first two kind of MMA guys to, join wrestling or professional wrestling, WWE.
Steve
Um,
Black,
who?
Steve Blackwell,
I can't hear him.
Steve Blackwell.
You mean Blackman?
Yeah, Blackman. That's it.
Blackwell.
Blackman.
I'm pretty sure that's like a tool.
is it?
No, Steve Blackman. I'm thinking of Black and Decker. Um,
Close. We're all close.
what's it called? Steve Blackman. I don't think he did MMA. I think he did. I think he was just a martial artist, like a trained martial artist. But I don't think he competed in MMA. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. Let me see.
Oh,
So guest refereeing, I understand why, with the cross promotion, but it just came out of nowhere, from what I understand. We understand why they're doing it,
Yeah,
but
because
then
it's a fight pit or what, something like
in
that, right?
storyline mode, it's just like oh, like okay, like Sure, like he just came out of nowhere. Yeah, it works.
I don't know. That's a little weird.
Well, there was no build up towards it, I feel, but I mean, sure, because then maybe people will watch who are
Well,
fans of it.
apparently Steve Blackman, I don't see um that he was an MMA fighter. But it
Okay.
does show that he does have his own MMA training facility, like he owns or he trains in martial arts. So he's an instructor now for MMA.
Oh well, who cares?
It's not to say that he couldn't kick the shit out of people's asses because he was a legit martial artist. He wasn't like,
Yeah,
uh,
you could see it when he performed in the ring.
yeah, like you
Yeah.
can see, yeah, like he's a legit martial artist. Um, but yeah,
Anyway,
so with that being said, um, shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say.
I
No.
think it's cool about the Daniel Cormier thing, though.
Oh yeah, Daniel Cormier. That's what we're on. Yeah, I mean it's it's gonna bring more eyes because obviously there's a lot of people who love Daniel Cormier. He's a legend in UFC. He's been on top for a long time. He was a champion multiple times, and um, it's just cool to see more eyes on here, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying
I
to
Besides,
saw on Twitter that Ken Shamrock was kind of pushing to be the guest referee for this match, but nothing came of that, obviously.
and Shamrock,
Yeah, he was pushing. He wanted to be the guest referee, and
I never liked him.
didn't happen.
I never liked him.
No.
Ken
No,
Shamrock.
yeah, I think he had talent, but I think he was too.
Serious.
Yeah, he was too serious. He was too violent for the whole thing you would see. I mean, even it may be part of the show, whatever. You've seen several times they had to have a couple of referees and stuff like that pry him off people because I just think it would like mentally it was like a crazy thing. He spazzed out. He went right into it.
I think from what I heard is that he was kind of difficult to work with, and
Yeah,
that's what was ultimately his like
yeah,
demise in WWE. Like
he
he
was
didn't
set,
show up on time, and he didn't do the right things, and he was always very difficult to work with. And
especially if you work with Vince McMahon. Forget it.
but see, that's the problem when you work with, especially with MMA fighters that came from MMA in that time, because MMA in that time wasn't heavily regulated that it is today. So it's like they could literally do whatever the fuck they want. And when you go into a wrestling organization that you really can't do that, Vince McMahon owns you pretty much
Yeah.
when you're in. They don't know how to cope with that. So, they do the things that are not welcomed in that sport or, just ethics, right? Portion of it, and they're not used to that. So that's where they fail. But some people get acclimated better than others. That's why, I think that's why Kurt Angle did so well. Is that and it also depends on the sport. Like he came from a wrestling background, right?
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of discipline there, right? Especially when you're like competing for the Olympics and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I think that's why he did so well is because he came from more of a polished background, and they learn discipline and stuff like that. But anyway, that's besides the point.
I want my freaking
Daniel Cormier, I'd like to see how that happens. And just to add a little bit, Daniel is a huge wrestling fan. Just by FYI, he's huge. He's a huge wrestling fan.
who isn't?
Huh?
Who isn't?
Who isn't? Well, there's a lot of haters. Trust me, there's a lot of haters. But wrestling is fake. I mean, yeah, obviously, dick. So is all your freaking movies that you watch. Um, it's choreographed. And you know what? To say it's fake, it's like, okay, it's choreographed and predetermined. Yes. But, you know, unlike the movies that you watch, right, that are portraying a character, they have stuntmen, stunt doubles, CGI that
Yeah.
crazy stuff. Wrestlers put their bodies on the line every single day. Every single day.
Yeah.
That wrestling mat is literally made up of like a gym mat, wood underneath, and like
yeah,
a ring, metal rods, and it's just a ring that can bounce. But I'm pretty sure if you land on your back on that, you ain't gonna feel good. It's not.
Yeah.
It's something that they like build up like tolerance over, right? That's like it's like try wrestling on that every single day. They those ropes too.
yeah,
I'm sure you probably up close with a wrestling ring. Those ropes are tight. Those are
Yeah.
when they bounce off those things, holy shit, they hurt. Anyway, next topic. Tony Khan. I read, this is an AEW news. Tony Khan is not granting any more release requests.
Why? Since I
I think it's because, in my opinion, I think he might be a little worried.
well,
Because there's a new regime change in the other company. He doesn't want to lose his people. So he wants people to be, um, you know, to fulfill their contractual obligations, and no more releases. And I think the biggest hit was when there was word about Malachi Black requesting his release.
yeah.
Which is weird on that note because Malachi Black, I think, came out and said that he didn't.
Yeah, he said he did not.
So I'm a little confused on that because reports say he did report, and then now he's saying he's not. So I don't know who to believe.
isn't
Um,
the isn't Tony Khan very wealthy? I mean, he's like really up there.
Tony Khan is richer than Vince McMahon. The guy owns he owns soccer clubs around the world, and he owns his own well, his
So
father. I mean, it's a
why,
family business, I guess, but they
why is he so worried about that type of thing where people are going to go? It doesn't matter. It's like what we said last week about how Eric Bischoff had Ted Turner's checkbook. Doesn't matter.
I'm thinking that this is probably the first thing that Tony Khan's ever done on his own was the wrestling, right? Not alongside his father. I'm sure, I mean, obviously his father probably invested a lot of money into it. But this is like his thing that he has. And like, when you see the other wrestling company that's been on top for years, and you see that, okay, so they just went through a regime change. And you have to also think that a lot of the wrestlers that he did acquire before the regime change at WWE, that all the wrestlers that he acquired were ones that were not happy
Hmm.
at WWE, but were Triple H people.
Yeah.
Remember that. They were Triple
Yeah.
H guys. And now they see, oh shoot, Triple H is running it now. That's my dude. I want to go back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he afraid of losing. He actually sent a warning to, I believe, Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon, uh,
Yes. Yeah.
say,
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that.
saying, giving them a warning not to,
Reach out.
contact or
Yeah.
their wrestlers, because he was afraid of poaching them. Uh,
Well, I mean, I see the ultimate result, and I mean, no offense. I hope nobody loses their business, but you know the deal.
yeah, it's I don't know. I think the guy needs to worry about all the crap that he's doing, rather than that guy's on something. He's
Yeah.
on something because you ever see his interviews, his
Yes.
eyes are
Yeah.
always like glassed over. He always it's like I'm like, dude, chill out. Like, I that cocaine's probably nice, but I gotta chill out with that shit. For real.
Anyway,
But anyway, yeah, so he's not granting any more releases. And then finally, we have the last piece of news that is actually ends the news on a good note. John Cena, as we know, is a stud of a man. He's a great human being, and he just granted his 650th wish for the Make a Wish Foundation,
good
which
for him.
is the most unbelievable thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So, like, Make a Wish, if for people that don't know, if you don't know, then you're living under a rock. Um, you know, is a organization for pretty much terminally ill kids. And they grant wishes for these kids, so they can actually have something to look forward to with they're terminally ill. So,
Yeah.
He,
um,
he does he does a lot of stuff like that. I
yeah,
actually I never knew about it or whatever it was. I may not be in the loop. I seen a video one time of him. I don't remember who he was fighting. Whatever, it was a tag team, and he grabbed that kid from the stands, and he made the kid win against him, and they became like tag team champions. It was like for a quick second or whatever, and the kid was in total shock.
yeah. I mean, John Cena has always been doing stuff like this, and he's just a really good dude, right? With all
Yeah.
the millions that he has and everything that he has and everything, there's a reason why he's there, is because he's just generally a good person. And to do those for those kids is just a wonderful thing because, I mean, what else isn't great? Like putting a smile on and obviously I have my son, you have kids too, Joey.
Really?
They're everything to us, and just to see that, someone else's kid that, is very unfortunate can have that, at least that one fortunate moment with, someone that they look up to. So it's very nice to see. So John Cena, you're a mensch.
Yeah, congratulations to him.
You're a mensch. All right. All
Hey,
right.
you
So we can go off to our next segment here. We're
know,
done with the news. A lot going on, man. A lot going on. But yeah, our next segment, we just go over SmackDown and Raw, our opinions and whatnot. I have to be one of the things that stood out for me on Raw was the fact that the Judgment Day storyline is getting better,
yeah, oh yes, it is.
Yeah.
getting much better. And it's not stale. Um, and I love what they're doing with Dominic. I know Jay, you feel like he doesn't belong. I
I,
know.
I I just I
I
don't believe it
know.
yet. I want to believe it. I do want to believe it,
I like what they're doing with Rhea Ripley. Looks like she's just having a lot of fun,
which is
Oh,
great. Yeah.
which is great. Yeah, which is really great.
I saw Balor's he's in for a big push. They're saying major push.
Yeah, I heard about that. That a major push is coming, which is great because I think he's doing really great with the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Um, but what do you guys think? Like, he's trying to lure AJ Styles in. Do you think he will?
Make a good story.
It does make a good story. I
Yeah.
wonder. But the matches seem to be a very good quality lately. Like I loved that was I believe Kevin Owens and Johnny Gargano versus Otis and Chad Gable in that. Um, that was a good match.
I
Yeah.
didn't
I
see.
don't know. Did you guys watch it?
No, I didn't see that one.
I
That one. That was a good match. They face each other again on SmackDown, I believe. So, but Kevin Owens does this elbow drop off the barricade, right,
Mhm.
onto the announcer's table, onto Otis, and everyone was freaking out about that. No, it was just good high profile matches. Like even Matt Riddle. Who did Matt Riddle? I can't remember all the freaking matches because it just happened too. I have such great long term memory, but my short term memory is like that of a goldfish. I swear to God, like after like I watch something and like a minute later, I'm like, oh shoot, what happened?
but
Um, but then it comes to me like at the end of the day, it takes 24 hours to process in my brain.
all right. We'll ask you next week.
But okay, so and the biggest part of Raw, and I know you're gonna like this, Jay, is Candice LeRae is back.
I'm a fan.
What do you guys think?
I am
I
a
it was inevitable. Is that how you say the word? Okay. Yeah, it was gonna happen. Johnny Gargano went to WWE. I feel like she's gonna go where her husband is, right?
yeah, of course.
Not, it's. it was going to happen. I just didn't know it was going to happen that soon. Also, the other thing that happened in that match against Candice LeRae and what's her name? The superhero, the dumbass gimmick. Well, that's the other thing. The dumbass gimmick is going. Was it? Oh, Nikki Ash, almost a superhero.
Oh,
I
no.
hate that fucking gimmick so much. That's the worst gimmick.
Yeah.
That's
It's
up
been
there
nothing
with
up.
that's up there with the turkey that we spoke about last week. Um, but yeah, so Raw was good. I actually thought that SmackDown was better this week. I don't know if you guys
Cousin
felt
Joey agrees.
your cousin Joey agrees.
I like the Michael Cole comment.
Oh yeah, we'll get there though. First off with the Sami Zayn bloodline story. I'm loving the storyline. I'm
It's
loving
great.
It's so great. Sami
Yeah.
Zayn is being utilized in the way that he should be
That's
right
exactly
now. Also with Sami Zayn is obviously I think they're going to have a Sami Zayn feuding with the Bloodline eventually. But they hinted at something, and this goes later on in the show. So Sami Zayn, I don't know, that storyline is great. I think Karrion Cross is being utilized the same way, the right way the second time,
Yeah.
right? I love his vignettes that they're doing with him, making him feel like that, almost like that creepy you serial killer kind of thing, right? Which they're also doing with what's his name, Dexter Loomis.
Yeah.
He's kind of
Yeah.
had that creepy serial killer
Yeah.
vibe too, but he is like the silent killer. Like he's very weird, very weird. What's weird is that when he knocks people out, he starts grabbing their head and petting them. Like
yeah, that's like an Al Snow kind of thing with the head.
yeah, but at least the head was a like a mannequin head.
Right, but I don't
He's
understand.
like imagine like Joey, like he knocked you out and then he's petting your head. How would you feel?
I don't know.
With his eyes like
Feel a little off.
It's
what?
still like it's still like a whole acting thing towards Al Snow. I just think it's like almost like on the same, line of as it. Oh God.
I love Al Snow. Al Snow is probably Al Snow was underrated. That's
Oh,
just
absolutely.
he was underrated. I loved when he came out and I was like, and it was so raunchy too, like back then, right? Like it's like, what does everyone
Wait,
want?
what?
Head. And it's
Whatever I
like,
need.
what does everybody need?
Can't. I very love.
It was
Oh
great. It was
man.
great. It was great. Um, yeah, carrying cross is being used the right way. Um, so I don't know if you guys, I know obviously Joey noticed. Did you watch SmackDown, Jay?
No, I had a show that night.
Oh, you had a show that night. Hmm.
Busy week for me, so
Joey, DVR doesn't exist in this world today. I'm just
I
kidding. I just
out of my budget it doesn't.
um anyway, yeah, so he noticed it, but the Michael Cole comment, this is where we're getting at. So towards it was a Theory versus McIntyre, and Michael Cole says a comment where um, Theory needs an attitude adjustment, which is
Ah,
Yeah,
which is a hint to possibly a return with John Cena. And obviously it's John Cena versus Theory is always been in the works or at least talked about, right?
yeah.
I would like to see that'd be interesting to see. I mean, when would it happen though?
this is exactly what he said. Quote, no doubt Austin Theory is one of the most talented we have seen in a while. He could use an attitude adjustment, though, quote unquote.
Yeah. And what do you guys know? Like what? like if they're going to tease this John Cena versus Theory match, would this be like a WrestleMania type match?
That's what
Or
It depends what he does with that briefcase.
well, you think that it's gonna have like he's gonna cash it in, win the title, and then it be John Cena versus him?
That's
I
what I'm
don't
saying.
think
I
because
don't
that's the
know.
thing.
That it
Like,
depends what he does with that briefcase for when this match would happen.
I don't think that John Cena needs a
No, he does. That's what I'm saying. He
title.
doesn't. So if he became
Right.
champion, I don't think it would happen now.
Right.
well they said. That's what I've seen. They said for WrestleMania, but this is not the first time that this comment has come up. So,
It's not.
I seen on one of the websites that John Cena does not have anything in his future upcoming events.
Well, the exception of possibly doing Peacemaker again.
But he has nothing in his future events. So what does that mean?
Oh, well, if he has nothing, I don't believe that because John Cena is always doing something. The guy can't stay still. He can't. He can't stay still. I don't believe that comment because the
He's
guy
always
is always doing something. You
he's
see, like he's always like he's either doing a movie, a commercial, he's being a spokesperson, sponsoring this, sponsor, like he's in China learning Chinese.
Yeah.
He's doing all these sorts of things. It's
I
crazy. Like the time management that guy has is crazy because he's always doing something every hour. I feel like so.
I think if it's a failed cash in, we'll see it maybe at like WrestleMania. If he does cash in and is successful, we'll have to wait a little bit longer for that John Cena match.
But is Theory like there yet to have a
I'm just if he I'm saying
high-profile
if he
match like
does,
that? But is Theory even there to have a high-profile match like that? I mean,
maybe that's the deal. Maybe that John Cena is so popular that he's moving Theory up to a level. Let's say, hey, listen, we're good for WrestleMania now. I think it's your time of turn to be more popular, and I think
which
it'll
older
go.
wrestlers do, kind of pass the torch like we always say.
yeah, but sometimes that can do more harm.
Agreed.
Sometimes that can do more harm, and then that will deplete. Like you hear people say, like, "Oh, John buried this person, or this person buried that person." Like it could have a reverse effect where it could feel like it's burying Theory, right?
I don't.
So
I don't think Triple H and Stephanie see it that way. I don't think they do. But also, look, maybe you're gonna get that match in WrestleMania, and then you're gonna get the other long time awaited um, match that I wanted,
yeah. All
which
right.
is
So and then that pretty much was it with that. I mean, that statement. Could possibly see John Cena back. I mean, obviously, John Cena never really is gone.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like he truly loves his business so much that he always will make as long as he can physically
exactly.
do it, he'll do a match here and there, and kind of like the Undertaker, take
Yeah.
when he was doing it, come back 1 year, one time a year, and that's it. The other thing was in the background there was a shot where they were you know the commentators were talking about like things that are happening. I guess I don't remember, but in the background there was a fan holding up a sign uh, behind them saying revel in what you are. And usually, and from what I read, is usually when people get taken away by security when they're behind the
For
counter.
Holly, yeah. Yeah.
So the fact that that sign was up there for a very long time tells people that they're not that it was supposed to be a part of the show.
Of
People
course.
are kind of associating it with the White Rabbit ordeal,
Yeah.
right? With the Bray Wyatt and all that. Something interesting that I saw about the White Rabbit, since we're on that topic, is apparently, so these clues are coming up, seems like after the cameras are in the shows, right? Like in the
Yeah.
audience. And there was another one where there's a phone number, and when you call the phone number, it says it's like a person. It says it's like kind of like you know those deep voices to hide your voice that a lot of
Yeah.
um saying like alpha, you know, like like alpha indigo and all that stuff, right? Like, you know, the intro to like Roman Reigns's or the Shield, right? Alpha, indigo,
Hmm.
echo,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
all that stuff, right? Um, but then a fan said that if you edit the video and bring it 6 steps higher, right? Like the audio,
Yeah.
it actually sounds like Bray Wyatt is talking, which is
Really?
kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you know, they're obviously they're associating this with Bray Wyatt's return. Um, I don't know. I mean, I guess I've been so burnt with a lot of like, you know, things in the past that it's like I'm trying to not to get too excited and um I'm trying not to like, you know, I'm keeping my expectations low is what I'm trying to say.
Best thing to do.
Because if I have him high and hope for a Bray Wyatt return and then it's not, I'm gonna be so disappointed, right? And I already have too much disappointment. My freaking Mets are losing first place, so like I'm at a really bad disappointment, and I don't want wrestling to disappoint me now because wrestling is very important to me, right? So it's like I'm fucking
This would
disappointed.
send Cliff over the edge.
It would send me, dude, the last 2 days I've been like so miserable because of the Mets, and I don't want to be miserable of my other favorite thing that I like, right? So,
You
um,
don't mean to disappoint you.
what?
I don't mean to disappoint you. See, that's why you're on the beach, just hanging out, trying to relax.
This is my comfort. This is why I'm at the beach. The Mets made me come here.
That's maybe
This is my zen right now. Um,
Boy,
but yeah, with that being said, yeah, I mean, I hope that it is Bray Wyatt that's all these White Rabbit things because I think the way they're doing it is brilliant with these cryptic messages and everything like that.
Aren't we supposed to find, well, supposedly supposed to find out at Extreme Rules who it is? That's been the rumor. Even if they're not there physically, at least like a video or something. That's what I read.
that's what I
I
thought
would
as well.
milk it for longer though. I mean,
Yeah, I would too.
yeah.
I think
Why Extreme Rules? I would wait.
Survivor Series would have been a better place because it's
Yeah.
the big four and a lot more
Well,
people, I feel.
let's not keep it too long because I see you. You know, you get a little impatient, like twiddling your thumbs. So let's just get the show on the road.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the anticipation is very great. When you
Like,
go through the show towards the end, going back to the Sami Zayn, I didn't want to ruin it yet because it wasn't, you know, because it was too soon. But at the end, towards the end, they have a segment in the backstage where it was Kevin Owens, McIntyre, and Johnny Gargano, because earlier in the night, Gargano and Kevin Owens get jumped by Alpha, because I believe it was a one. It was actually a one-on-one. No,
it was.
it was a one-on-one between Gargano and or was it Kevin and Gable? I can't remember. Well, it doesn't matter. They got jumped, blah blah blah, this and that. And what was it, Drew? I can't remember. Holy shit. I'm
See,
only like 3 hours removed and I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Somehow they changed it where it's Drew McIntyre, Gargano, and Kevin Owens versus Alpha, whatever their names are, and Theory. Three a 6-man tag match, right?
Mm-mm.
Um, so but prior to that match, they were having the little backstage segment with Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, and Gargano. And you know, they were talking, and then Kevin Owens decides to break away and is like, oh, I'll catch you guys, you know, later, and starts breaking away, and he passes Sami Zayn. And then he looks at Sami Zayn and goes, smiles, smirks, and stuff like that. They get, they stand up, and then he goes, "I think you need a new shirt, bud," because he's wearing his honorary Oos shirt, right? But I feel like it's kind of foreshadowing a possible reunion
Maybe.
of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn reunion.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if maybe they'll reunite and maybe go up against the bloodline because that's gonna happen. I
I
feel
guess,
like that's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
happen. And Sami Zayn's gonna need a friend. And what's a better friend than, the person that you've had, well, they're friends in real life, we know that, but the guy that you've had the most history with, right?
Yeah.
Starting from
Well,
NXT all the way up to now. Um, so that'd be interesting to see. And then lastly, that's worth noting is that stupid. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm not like asking if you like have any, what's it called? I guess because in my mind, I'm just like, we have so much, we got to get through everything.
Well, we're just here to listen to you, Cliff. Don't worry.
Oh no, I don't want to just talk.
Okay.
You guys
I'm
talk.
not
Go,
messing with you.
go. I'm at the beach, man. I'm just gonna relax at the beach. Oh.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts? Come on, Joey, you watched it, you saw it.
I totally agree. I think that it's what's that? I may be sounding crazy. What's that old saying? Keep your friends close, your enemies closer. I think it's kind of like they're doing the exact same thing. They're prepping everybody for a possible togetherness, that type of thing. And like you said, that match, it's only just a matter of time. It's only a matter of time that they have that match.
Yeah, I think so too.
Maybe they'll do it. Maybe they'll do it at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Well, WrestleMania is so far out, but I guess there is a story that they can build. But how long can they build it for? I mean, WrestleMania is in April, right? So,
Yeah.
um, they still
Jason,
have plenty of months in, and they still haven't gone through Survivor Series and Royal Rumble. So we have two of the big fours coming up before WrestleMania.
well, maybe they'll do it at the Royal Rumble, and if they're in the match, maybe they'll face off with each other at the last.
Maybe we shall see. Who knows? I'm
All right,
still wondering when they're going to drop one of Roman Reigns' titles. I think they might do it at Survivor Series. That's what I would think.
WrestleMania. I'm telling you, The Rock.
It's
I'm telling
not
you.
going to be The Rock, my man. Not The Rock. Rock is
All right,
busy making movies. He's
don't
going to
worry about
make another movie with what's his name?
it. Rock, Rock,
With Kevin Hart.
Brock Lesnar.
And um,
Let's talk about this Extreme Rule predictions.
well, actually, no, not yet, because we got one more thing to talk about. That's worth noting is that and this goes to show you how they're changing the game and trying to make those stars where they're like championship caliber. And I think he can be too because he's really good on the mic. But Max Dupree, which was part of the model agency, um, in the episode actually jumps the models and tells them pretty much to F off and says that this isn't for me for more anymore, and it seems like it's signaling the return of his NXT gimmick when he was LA Knight, which he did very well with. I don't know if you're familiar with it, you guys, but um, yeah, he was very good as LA Knight. Good, he's a good talker, good wrestler. So I think a lot of good things are going to come out with that. And again, um, that was when Triple H was running NXT, he
Mm.
was LA Knight, and then he gets called up under Vince, becomes this model manager, which is so stupid. It goes to show you. I mean, it goes to show you that Vince was losing his ways.
Yeah.
That's what it shows you because like when Karrion Cross came up, he made him a Spartan. When Max Debris come or LA Knight came up, he made him a male modeling agent, right? Or man,
Yeah.
so stupid.
all that.
Keith Lee came up. He said, "Keith, you're a bear cat for no
You're
reason at all."
yes, yeah. You're a bear cat now.
So it just doesn't make sense to me.
I
Um,
think I think he was just running out of ideas.
Running out of ideas? Probably.
Yeah, it's
Um,
too what's again, plastic surgery.
who?
Vince. Well, the rest of that
Oh,
other
dude,
stuff.
that guy, I don't know, man. He definitely got plastic surgery because he looks completely different from what he looked like before.
Right.
He had a lot of facelifts and whatnot. But
Anyway,
when you have that kind of money, you can do that stuff, right?
absolutely.
And also pay off your people. Um,
True.
anyway, shots fired. All right, we're gonna talk about Extreme Rules because Extreme Rules is coming up next week. Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. What are we gonna do? What are we? My
It's
opinion.
gonna it's gonna be Liv Morgan. I know I like Ronda Rousey, but I'm man enough to admit it. Fine. I'm good.
Jay. All right.
I'm fine with it.
No. I gotta change how you say that sentence. Like, because next week I want you to hear like, all right, I don't like Ronda Rousey. Because oh,
I
oh,
seen I seen it at the start of the podcast, and I went, oh,
she's so cringe, man.
I
geez,
know.
She's
I
cringe.
keep, God, just move on.
We'll put her against Goldberg, all right? Guys, don't worry. First Brock Lesnar.
First
That crown jewel 17.
Yeah, I think Liv. Do you think Liv Morgan's gonna win? I don't know about that.
I got Liv Morgan.
You got Liv Morgan?
Ronda don't need it. She don't need the title. What's she gonna do with it?
Yeah. Who knows? Bianca Belair versus Bailey ladder match.
Haley.
I say Bianca.
I say Bianca, and she'll lose the title at WrestleMania. Bianca.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh.
All right. All
Early
right.
prediction.
All right. So hold on. I want to write down our predictions because I want to see if we're right. So Jay, you say Liv Morgan.
Yep.
Liv. I say what do I say? I don't know, man.
Haley.
I'm gonna say Rhonda. If I could spell her freaking name right. And Joey, you think it's Liv?
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
So
anybody.
do we all say Bianca is gonna win this one? Oh no, you said Bailey, right? Joey?
Yes.
All right. So Jay and
I was saying Bianca because I read, like I said, their early plans and everything could change. But for Bianca versus Charlotte at WrestleMania, for Charlotte to take the title back.
you think Charlotte's coming back?
That's what I read. That's what I read. Doesn't mean it's right, but that's what I read, and that's what I think will happen.
Okay. I mean, it's feasible, but I don't know.
That's the early rumor.
I'm saying Bianca's gonna win.
We'll see.
She's gonna keep it Bianca for a while.
Joey, you think it's you think
Bailey.
Bianca or Bailey, right?
I gotta be the oddball here. You know that.
Yeah, Seth Rollins versus Matt Riddle. What do we think?
I think Riddle needs to win.
Seth friggin' Rollins.
Yeah, I agree. Riddle.
See? Oh, come on.
Riddle.
Riddle needs a win. I mean, he does. He needs a win
He
against.
does. He does. He hasn't won.
We all know about the I Quit match.
Jay. So, and you say Seth?
Of course, Seth friggin' Rollins.
Ugh.
His clip types it. Oh.
You know what? The one thing that really like, all right. So there's a couple of things that make my skin crawl, right? And there's very few things.
Yeah,
One
sure.
of them is Seth Rollins' voice. Right. As soon as like I can't even hear his voice when he like, when they walk down the ramp, right, with their music and the fans going, crazy and whatnot. And but I see him like talking and I can just visualize it and I'm already like getting the like I just hear right? Like his voice. He has that
He
voice.
does, yeah.
It's probably equivalent to like nails on a chalkboard, right? So I hate it. I can't stand it. Anyway, so Joey, you think it's Seth Rollins?
Of course, Seth friggin' Rollins.
Okay, Drew McIntyre carrying Cross. Tell me what you guys think.
Cross,
Mm,
Cross.
yeah.
Come on, Joe.
I'm gonna say Cross.
Thank you.
I want to say Cross. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's stick with Cross.
Yeah, Cross.
Isn't that a
So I
strap
think
match?
it's unanimous. I think we all think Cross, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Edge versus Finn Balor. I quit match.
We know that one.
I think Edge is gonna win.
Of course.
I want to say Balor.
But at the same time, I do too, because it's like
I want
maybe
to
a
say
passing of the torch kind of thing.
Balor. Put me down for.
Edge.
I might put Balor too. I might switch.
All right, now let's answer the second question part of that. How is he gonna make him quit?
Well, Finn Balor?
Well, I think Edge, but
I don't know. I think maybe some outside interference of some sorts.
yep.
Finn.
Of
I'm saying Finn too.
I'm leaving.
And
Of
Joey, you're saying Edge?
course, I'm leaving. This is pathetic. Nobody agrees with me.
Imperium versus Brawling Brutes.
Rolling Roots.
I don't want to see them win.
I'm gonna say Imperium.
See, cause I got you for that one.
Like, probably the crappiest match.
No, it's gonna be the most hard-hitting match you'll
Yeah,
ever
I
see.
can't wait for that one.
Man, the
Is
way
it
that they perform in Cardiff between Gunther. Oh, I heard that Gunther might have another name change, probably go back to Walter. I would like to see that. The only
well?
thing is like this is it's like the flip flop, like, well, my name is Gunther. No, it's not. It's Walter. No, but it's
Yeah.
Gunther. But now it's Walter, and it's
Is
like
is it
Yeah.
true?
things just happen.
Is it true that I read that there may be a match of Johnny Gargano and Theory?
Yeah, I heard I was Gargano versus Theory as well.
Yeah, I heard that. Well,
Yeah.
if I do it, it's Theory.
This theory. Hold on, I'm trying to write down the predictions for this one. So I said Imperium, and you think Brawling Brutes, right, Joey?
Of course.
I'm gonna see how well we did. And you know what? I think we should have um
What?
something here. Like whoever has the most predictions um gets something. I don't know what though. Um Johnny Gargano versus Austin Theory. So what about this one? I'm gonna say Gargano. Theory needs a win though.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna say Gargano.
This is pathetic. I'm pulling a strike or something. This is pathetic. Nobody agrees with me.
What?
Joey feels left
What I
out.
just missed? I missed something.
Yeah, he's just rambling like like a angry what's it called, a New Yorker, like talking under his breath. Wow, 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 no one agrees with me.
What else? That's it. I think those are all the matches.
Wait, but Jay, you didn't say who you want. Who do you think?
I want to give it to Theory.
Theory?
Yeah.
Jason says Theory.
See?
Joey says Theory. And I say Gargano.
No.
And finally,
Come on, do that.
it's your segment, man. It's your segment. Finally,
Don't have to do it anymore because all of a sudden now you know all the answer.
Cousin Joey's 2 cents.
Although I'm the underdog for all the predictions, we know the answer. Cliff, you did it. What year did Raw come out?
You don't have to say that I answered it already. We could just play dumb here and just kind of like, hey, this is the question. No one's answered it yet.
Name 2 matches, the first Raw, and what year it came out.
The first Raw and when it came out.
Yep, what year did it come out?
Do you really want me to answer this?
Because you know the answer.
Well, kind of. I know partially of the answer.
So
Remember? Well, 1993.
All right, Jay, name me 2 matches. You're done, Cliff.
I'm done.
I know we spoke about my memory sucks. But I thought these are for the people watching to answer for next week.
Okay, so then you know what we'll do?
That's why I thought, unless I'm wrong, it's possible.
Yeah, it came out in 1993. Let's see. We'll leave it for the next week. Name 2 matches. Put it on our Instagram.
And comment. What were 2 matches?
Yeah, comment on the comment section below. What 2 matches were part of the first episode of Raw? It's got my head scratching.
2 out of the few matches. I think there was 5.
It was only an hour-long show at the time.
It was only 5 matches.
Yeah.
2 out of the
matches. Very quick matches.
With the fans.
Well, anyway, guys, I'm gonna close it up here.
Yeah, we keep going about nonsense. Yeah.
So we got a lot of our predictions there. We have we'll have more content hopefully next week with to see if our predictions are correct. And we're still debating what maybe that's something that the listeners can comment. What should the winner get of who won all?
Yeah, I like that.
Those predictions and see. But it can't be anything inappropriate. It can't be anything stupid or rude. It's got to be something like decent. Because sometimes I worry people have warped minds. You can't trust them all the time. But so that's why, Joey, you're not allowed to put anything in the comments. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so if you like our content, please like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to bring you new, fresh content, more knowledge into this. So we appreciate any support that we can get. So yeah, man, with that being said, have a good day, folks.